Welcome to another episode of Inspire Africa. I'm Barbara Lundu. Here is the summary. We'll start with Senegal, where we'll meet a man who is nicknamed the Plastic Man. He has been traveling around the country for several years to raise awareness of the pollution caused by plastic waste. We'll then go to Ivory Coast. The country has experienced a musical revolution in recent years, but some artists are finding it difficult to make a living from their music. This is now changing thanks to the emergence of streaming platforms. Finally, we'll go to Accra, Ghana to introduce you to Chef Elijah Addo. This passionate cook has made food waste a battle. His NGO feeds around 6,000 people daily across the country. Modou Fall is a Senegalese activist who would like his country to be more environmentally friendly, so he regularly puts on his suit made from plastic bags to raise awareness. And it doesn't matter to him if people think he's crazy. He has been tackling this issue for years and is determined to change things.
Former Army officer Modou Fall, nicknamed the Plastic Man, has been campaigning for the conservation of the Senegalese environment for 16 years. He's focused his campaign on the problems caused by single-use plastics, particularly plastic bags. He stands out with his outfit made from discarded bags and cups. All the plastic bags that are thrown away end up in the sea or in garbage dumps. So I dress like this to draw people's attention, to make them aware that there are more than 5 million plastic bags thrown away daily in Senegal. Many people think I'm crazy, and I take that as an opportunity to pass on my message. Fall has also taken his plastics campaign to Senegal's coast, where beaches and landing sites have not been spared by litter. The country has struggled to properly manage waste disposal, something that threatens the lucrative fishing sector. Plastic bags have caused a lot of damage to the sea. They cling to the fishing nets and prevent fishermen from catching fish. We only have the sea as our wealth, so the fight of this man, Modou Fall, is honorable and comes at the right time. Fall decided to trek around Senegal to demand the authorities implement a law banning the production, import, possession, distribution, and use of low-micron plastic bags. Despite being in place for some years, the law has never been made operational. My objective is to push the state of Senegal to sign the decrees of application of the law relating to the use of plastic bags. It is only these application decrees that will allow us to fight against these plastic bags and to preserve our environment for future generations. The responsibility of industries also matters. Senegal still produces 200,000 tons of plastic waste per year, of which only 9,000 tons are recycled or reused. The rest is dumped in nature and the sea.
For some years now, Ivorian music has been experiencing a revival with the arrival of young singers and DJs. But until recently, it was difficult for these artists to make a living from their work. With the development of digital technology, things are starting to change, especially thanks to music streaming apps.
In Ivory Coast, the digitalization of music has its advantages for both consumers and industry players. Sikacha is a slam artist, twice runner-up in the national slam competition in his country. His music is available on streaming platforms. This has greatly helped his career. It's the first time in Ivory Coast to see a slam album reach at least 100,000 streams. I'm proud of that number. Revenues are at least €1 for every 1,000 streams, so it's not much. It's really not a lot. Generally, those who live from streams are big productions, those who make hits. If I did, for example, 100 million streams, that would translate into a lot of money. But 100,000 streams, it's really minimal, given the money we spent on the project. But I'm happy because people are listening to what I'm doing. Thanks to the streaming companies, local artists can also benefit from professional support to boost their visibility. So for us, the support is at several levels, depending, of course, on the artist's profile. First of all, we put the project forward, whether it is an album, a mixtape, or a single. We highlight it to all the users and then we send notifications to all those who use Boomplay in Ivory Coast to let them know that a specific release has taken place, to notify them a few days in advance. However, this digitalization creates many challenges for the African music industry. Some in the industry are trying to address those challenges. What we need to do is to regulate our ecosystem, regulate our industry. This is why the SIMA project was born, Francophone African Music Industry Exhibition. It is to bring together all the players in the industry, whether they are Africans or foreigners, because we need all the active forces to be able to move things forward. The structuring will allow us to reach serious levels of consumption in a very short time. Music streaming is still in its early stages in the country, but these listening platforms have managed to convince artists to go digital.
Every year, tons of food are thrown away on the African continent. And it is to tackle this food waste that our guest Ghanaian chef, Elijah Addo, has created Food for All Africa, an NGO that collects food that would otherwise end up in the bin and redistributes it to people in need. This initiative has earned him an award from the Queen of England. Hello, Chef Elijah Addo. First of all, I'd like to know how this passion of cooking came about.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. So my passion for food actually comes from being the only boy from a family of 4. I was always closer to my mom, and the best moments I spent with my mom was in the kitchen. Unfortunately, at the age of 12, she passed away. And so most often, to relive those moments, I find more happiness in the kitchen. And it's, for me, being in the kitchen and working around food is just like reconnecting to the moments that I spent with her. And that's how I fell in love with cooking.
How did you come up with the idea of creating a food bank?
One day I was coming to work very early in the morning, and I came in touch with a mentally challenged man who comes to the trash bin where we throw away our leftover foods. He picks the leftover foods and then goes onto the street and then feed his colleague mentally challenged on the streets. So I asked him, why do you pick leftover food from the trash bin and give it to your colleagues on the streets? His response to me was, if he doesn't do it, who will? Then with time, I realized food waste was across the whole food supply chain. And my passion to do more kept increasing.
Did you expect your NGO to become so popular over the years?
Well, for me, when I started, it was just about passion. But then, as my interest within the food supply chain kept growing, I realized it was not a matter of people not enough food being produced. There are business standards that are making food to go waste. In Ghana, for instance, UNICEF estimates in 2013 shows that 1 out of 3 children goes to bed hungry at a time when we have over 45% of food going waste along our supply chain. And if you should translate that into cash, it's more than over $6 billion of going waste.
What is your long-term goal?
Our long-term goal as a community food bank is to first and foremost have Ghana develop a national food donors encouragement policy. Ghana today is faced with high levels of inflation. We have food prices going astronomically high. And this has resulted to a lot of people within the middle and low income bracket having to fall on Food for All Africa for food support.
What is your personal ambition?
My long-term goal as a human is to die, knowing one day die, knowing well that I contributed to ensuring Africa has a fair and just food supply system that is not just based on affordability, but it is food for all Africans.
Chef Elijah Addo, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you. I deeply appreciate it.
We'll leave you with the beautiful paintings of the Nigerian artist Alex Peter Idoko. What makes him special? For his artwork, he uses few razor blades, some charcoal, and a lot of fire. He has gone viral on social media with this technique. I'll let you enjoy his work. See you soon on Africanews.